When you're out on the night and you're socializing and all those things, have you ever had those moments where you said to maybe a friend who you know may not be saved, or a friend in general who's a Christian, or just anyone in society that you walk up to every random day, I could have said something to them. I could have done that. Jesus was convicting me of that. And you didn't do it. My friends, my brothers, my sisters. The Bible is very clear on what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. Don't let some person at a seminar or a meeting or some Christian conference say, oh, you know, we shouldn't offend. That's not true. The Bible clearly states there is no how dare yous. Jesus wants you to offend because the Bible is offensive. We live in a culture today that says, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. You know, you shouldn't offend, you shouldn't be this way, you have to watch what you say. I hope most people who want to preach the gospel don't agree with that. The churches are being persecuted now in North America because they don't want the gospel to be outreached. And in the Middle East, they're really being persecuted for a lot of just proclaiming his name, and a lot worse off. But I'll give you some verses in the Bible that there shouldn't be any more how dare I, it should be I dare you to not. 1 Peter 2:8, Jesus is the rock of offense. Now, in some Bibles they don't even say that, but in the original Greek, Peter gave him that name as the rock of offense. Men were going to stumble over his words, and they were going to be offended with rage and anger towards their God. Peter and his followers, they were healing people, and then they got flogged. And a lot of people don't realize what flogging is. There's these metal spikes on the end of these whips, and they started beating them down with it. And what did they do? They walked away and were happy. You always wonder, like you say to yourself, oh, my friends are gonna reject me. Well, were they really your friends in the first place if they are your secular friends? They should love you regardless of who you are and how you may tell the gospel to them and what you stand for. Would you rather have friends who love you and care about you? And sure, you have your Jesus thing, as some guys call it, or whatever, he's a Christian, and I still love him regardless. I have friends like that, and they still love me, and they don't care. But don't be so afraid. People aren't so close-minded as you think. And sure, if someone yells at you and says, go take a hike, so to speak, then just move on. Have you ever seen friends who maybe you weren't a Christian, now you're saved, and now they reject you and don't talk to you? Well, Jesus went through the same thing. In Luke 4, he goes into his hometown and into his synagogue, and they throw him out, and they try to throw him off a cliff. I'm sorry? You guys are afraid of a little saying, I'm not hanging out with you, when Jesus was about to get thrown off a cliff. And then walk through and escape because Jesus is awesome like that. So I encourage you, I admonish you, and I know that's a big word, it's lightly rebuke. You Christians who think you're going to be rejected, guess what? You're going to stand before the God of the universe. And I don't think he's really going to care about your rejection. He's going to say, did you love me?